Yeah, what up, folks? So we got a 2012 Hyundai Accent with a crank no start. Also, it does start from time to time and install as the customer said, right? So the first thing I like to do is confirm the problem, right? So let's put the key on and see what's going on. With the key on, I'm seeing I'm missing a check light, right? So that's the first clue to this diagnose, right? Let's see if we can crank it over and see what's going on. So it does crank healthy, right? But for some reason not started. Okay. Right, so we definitely have a crank no start. Right, this is a relay that was replaced by an electrician. He said that this was a problem. The customer went and purchased one and they replaced it. Still have the same issue, right? But ever so often the check light will come back on. So let's see if we could get that to happen. Check light is still off. Let's see if I keep turning it. Right, there you go. You see the check light popped on, right? So let's see if the car will start. Alright, the car start up, right? When the check light pops up, right? He said when you replace the fuse or something like that also. I'm not sure what fuse it is, but we're gonna go on the hood and see what he's speaking about. Right? When you take the fuse out and put it back in, the car starts.
Alright, so we got this vehicle started up, right? You saw the check light wasn't there at first, and now it's there, right? So I believe they said they replaced the relay. I'm not sure what it was. This main relay here that is going to, like I said, I'm not sure what that one is. Probably the what the ECU controls. But he also mentioned that when he removed this 15 amp, which is the injector, the check light comes back on, right? As I said, I don't think that had anything to do with it, but you know, let's do some checks, right, and see what's going on. You know, pull out the scope, pull out the scan tool, and take it from there. Okay, so while we got the scan tool hooked up, I'm using the King Bolan E-Diag Plus. So I'm just gonna do a screen record so you can see what's going on. We do have the check light on at the moment. Currently it wasn't there prior, but let's see what comes up, right? I'm not getting anything. Okay, so let's put in the VIN number and see if this car will give us the data that we need to diagnose this car. Let's see if we can get some direction to see why we got this crank no start. Right, I suspect that the ECU is acting up because when I came here we didn't have the check light, right, and now the check light is there. So it's not the sensor, it's most likely is the what you call it, the ECU acting up, right? These ECUs tend to give trouble after a while, right? There's a 2012 Hyundai Accent, which is also known for having failure on the ECU, which is the MEG 17912. Yeah, it tend to give trouble after a while. You know, I run into it. You can check out the videos. Yeah, so let's retrieve some info. We got 157 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers on the dash. So let's see what's going on. Alright, so let's press this. Let's press OK. Let's move this one here. Okay, let's do a full health report. Let's see how fast this picks up any code. Actually, it's really running really fast. Yeah, I just got my hands on this. You know, as I said, sometimes you don't want to bring on all your scan tools. You just got, you know, the phone or a tablet, and you just got that hooked up, and that's it, man. You'll be in and out real quick. Okay, so it took roughly 35 seconds to scan this vehicle. Not bad at all. Well, excuse me, 40 seconds. Right, so let's look in report. We're gonna save the report before we clear any codes. Right, we definitely may have some codes due to, you know, prior things being taken out and all that good stuff. Let's come out of there and generate report. So we got a P0620, which is alternator control circuit, right? That's not what we came for. We have airbag faults, BCM, so we don't have anything to do with ECU problem, communication problem. So what that letting us know that, we need to do some checks, directly on the crank sensor, the cam sensor, and see what we get while the light is on. And when it's not there, then we'll make the call for the customer, right? Okay, so let's do some checks on directly on the crankshaft, right? Just hook up the scope here. Right, we're gonna ask the customer to start the vehicle. Let me just hook up my scope, put this on. Okay, so we got, okay, start the vehicle up. Okay, well, I gotta start it up then. Alright, so we got the check light still on. It came off because I started the vehicle up. Okay, so definitely see that we're getting a crank signal from the crankshaft sensor. So that's letting me know that the crankshaft sensor is good, right? You can check the cam while we're here. Let's go into the middle pin. Matter of fact, let's take this out. All the screws. Put this in. Put that in. Okay, so we just want to check the cam sensor here, right? It's a Hall effect. I'm expecting to see that we gain 5 volt coming off this middle pin, and which we are. Just gotta fix my settings. Let's fix this. Alright, so I'm definitely getting cam and crank signal on this vehicle, so that let me know that the sensors are good, intact. So the next thing, you could check for harness and stuff like that, but I don't think that's the problem, right? I'm gonna go after the ECU next, right? So let's see what happens when we switch the power and we try to start back again. It's still there. So I believe he said anytime he takes this fuse out, right, which is an injector fuse, which is kind of coincident. So let's take this out, right? Let's take this out, and so when you put it back in, that's when the light will come on. So I'm hoping to kind of do a reverse engineering thing to see if I could get the fault to happen. Okay, let's see what's going on. Most likely is the, oh, it's still there, man. Okay, so let's do some checks on this relay. Make sure everything is well. I don't have my tool to take out relay at the moment, so I'm going to try to use this bird beak without damaging the relay. But let's see if I can get assistance with this. Yeah, so this was the relay that was replaced. I believe that was a bad call, but you know it is, right? So yeah, that is really stuck. So we're just gonna do some checks. All right, so with my test light on battery negative, right, I'm gonna check for power on pin 87 and 85, right? So I'm expecting to see battery voltage coming out at least 2 of these pins for this relay, right? And the ground for the relay is triggered internally or the ECM, right? That's to power up the power IC, right? I'm not gonna get to break it down right now, but as I said, once these pins is getting powered, right, that's letting me know that my fuse is good and stuff like that, right? But now I'm not sure exactly if the ECU is sending that ground right here to this pin, right, on pin 87, right? No, sorry, on 86, right? So I need to put the relay back in order to test, but I'm definitely getting power on these 2 pins right here, right? So let me see, I'm getting 12 volts on both pins, so all I'm missing is the ground from the ECU, right? So I gotta do some more testing before I make the call, but it definitely looks like the ECU is not sending the ground to this pin right here, right?
if I switch to battery positive, can I send it? I don't think it works like that. So let's see what we could do. So I'm gonna put the relay back in. I really should have had my relay tester so I could see what was going on. But unfortunately, I couldn't do anything. Go ahead, put key back on. Is it? So you see, we got the check light off. We're gonna switch on again. Nothing. No check light. Vehicle is cranking. So we do have a intermittent crank no start on this vehicle. And yeah, so I'm gonna make the call on the ECU. There's nothing else we can do, right? Without that, then the relay kind of energize, and the sensors can get what they need to get to start the vehicle up, right? So yeah, that sums it up, right? So nothing else. Nothing?
No.
Alright, so we still getting nothing. Alright, with the cam sensor unplugged, I got 5 volts, 12 volts, and ground, right? So right now you see that I'm reading like 30 millivolts, right? The check light is on, right? So we're gonna start the vehicle up, and we're gonna take a look at this scope and the multimeter and see what's going on, right? So most likely this is a pull-up circuit. So go ahead and start. Here we go. Okay, so you see we're getting 2.3. The cost is running. Okay, let's put some more time on the screen. Right, so you're definitely seeing the clear waveform here. I'm getting 2.4. So that let me know that you definitely have a good cam sensor also and a crank sensor. So you gotta ask yourself where exactly, you know, this problem is occurring. I don't think it's power and ground going to the sensors, right? Definitely going after ECU, as I said. But you see that we're getting good waveform right here. It's not dropping out. It's steady. Right now, if you step on the X a little bit, and see what's going on. Okay, so alright, so that's, as I said, man, we're gonna channel our energy behind the ECU, see exactly what's going on, and most likely it definitely is an ECU problem, because it's, I mean, not quick to call the ECU, but it definitely is an ECU problem because it's like an intermittent short that is happening and it's not powering this relay for the vehicle, right? The vehicle that shut off on us after running for like 2 minutes while we was discussing our next move, and yeah, we're getting 5 volts still strong. I mean, and that was it. So let's start back the vehicle. Matter of fact, let's see if the check light is still on. It's still on, right? Check light is still on. Let's try to start it up again. Let's start right up. Okay. So it starts. Let's rev it and see what's going on. So it definitely getting a loss of power every time they snap. Let's brake torque this. Yeah, so we still got our crank sensor. Let's check this cam sensor. Let's check our crank and see what's going on the tails. I'm gonna try to get my hands between here. Okay, so let's put some more time on the screen to see what's going on. Okay, I'm gonna put up to 5 volts.
We're gonna try to see if we can get this to act up. Yeah, they thought it was a relay, but clearly wasn't. Right, what else? Let's see if I can get, no I can't, to get access to this probe. You see how much volts on there, 2.2. Right now I'm on the crank. So we're hoping to get this to feel. Okay, so I decided to hook up to the crank and cam and the injector number one and coil number one, right? I would like to see, who's having the issue when the vehicle shuts down. I'm going to let this run for a bit and hopefully, it shows us where the issue is coming from, right? So I'm not going to check power and ground going to the ECU because clearly I can read the ECU using the scan tool, and I can also obtain data from it, right? So as you saw earlier, it did show the alternator had a fault, right? So that let me know that the ECU is communicating with the other modules and is doing what it's supposed to do, right? But from time to time the check engine light is flashing or disappearing and causing the vehicle not to start, right? So I mean, yes, it could be the power to the module, but like I said, I don't think that's an issue, right? But I'm definitely going to do my check, right? I'm just going to do it off camera because it's going to take long to take this apart, right? So we're trying to see when that fault happens, it will, show his head and give us some kind of direction, right? So let's see what's going on, man. But I'm definitely going to go after this ECU, right? Now the car is running, it's idling, right? If you power torque the vehicle, it stands up, but you also hearing like it's pinking, right? Like the ECU is not supplying the power it's supposed to, right? And this vehicle is known for having ECU problems after, let's say, roughly 8 to 10 years. This brain box, man, tends to, start to act up and cause the vehicle to act crazy, right? So let's see if we could power break it, and I'm not sure if it will show up, but from what it looks like, it's not gonna show up. I mean, that's cars for you. You know how this go. When you want the vehicle to act up, it tends not to act up, right? So let's let it run for a bit. I am really trying to get it to act up, but he's not, right? But I'm gonna pick the camera up when it does. Okay, so it finally failed on us. As you can see, it shut off. Okay, so I was able to open the box and take a look around. I wasn't getting any power going to the power IC. This explains why there wasn't a ground going to the relay, right? All the pins look like it's intact, but it could be that it's a faulty component. I will have the client take it to someone to get it repaired. Basically, I really don't have the time to dig around in this box at the moment because I have other pressing things to do. But after they get it repaired, I will install the box and do my checks and see what's going on, right? So let me get that done. All right, so we're back on the 2012 2013 Hyundai Accent with the the check light issue. So the customer got the ECU repaired, right? I believe he said that had some cold soda on the board, right? So let's see if we have the check light on, right? Oh, quick, let me see, right? So yeah, definitely seeing the check light is on, right? So we supposed to be able to start the vehicle now, right? So we had an intermittent fault where the check light was coming and going and the car was cranking with a no start, right? There's no fault of the customer, the technicians who basically worked on the vehicle prior. It's just they should have done a little bit more testing or digging, how it is, right? But I mean, let's see what's good. So we're gonna start the vehicle up. It starts right up, right? Sorry about the camera, I don't have my camcorder with me right now, but you see that we have no check light on. The vehicle is running, so let's check our crank and cam signals. Okay, so here you see we definitely have our crank signal,
right? Just gonna put this up a little bit. So hooked up to the crankshaft, it's looking good. Just go on the cam, sorry. Let's go on the cam and make sure that we're getting what we're supposed to be getting. It's a little quick test. And I'm getting a waveform. Let's speed this up. So you see I'm getting my crank and cam signal. So definitely gonna call that a fix. I mean, I was sure that it wasn't the sensor that had the issue and that the ECU was acting up. Let me just switch this off. Yeah, so I was sure that the ECU was the problem and not the crank and the cam, right? You see that we're getting the check light now. Switch off, it's back on, starts right up, check light is going. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, share, comment, all that good stuff. Until next time.